Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to have a look at JavaScript basics, and I will try to cover all the stuff you need to start to code in JavaScript. Also, if you don't know what is JavaScript and what it is used for, so let me give a short introduction of it. JavaScript in web development is used for the behavior of the web page. Also, we can use it on the server side using different libraries and frameworks. To name them as Node.js, Express, and etc. Also, if you want to know more about JavaScript, you can Google it for theory purpose, and I'm not gonna do more of the theory in this video as I don't want to waste precious time of yours. So first thing first, let's make a new folder on our desktop that is JavaScript. And that's fine, I think. So let's open our Atom text editor. Also, if you don't know how to install the Atom text editor, I will provide a link in the description of my 1-minute video, so you can watch that out and come back to this video again for the JavaScript tutorial. So open the folder here, then visit your desktop, open the JavaScript folder here basically, and by pressing A or by right clicking, you can just select the option and make a new file that is index.html. You can simply press A on your keyboard. So we made this file that is index.html here. Just maximize your screen by pressing this left arrow. For writing JavaScript, we will need HTML boilerplate. So let's write HTML and hit enter. So let me just zoom out our screen. So this is the head part of our HTML tag. And also, if you don't know what is HTML basics and all, I have made 24 videos on that. All the 24 videos are short enough to be learned quickly. So let's change the title to JavaScript. This will be your website title. Also, it doesn't matter here because we are not going to use the localhost or something here. So let's make it JavaScript basics, and let's go into our body tag. And write h1 here. H1 is basically a kind of text which has a bigger size compared to h2, h3, h4, h5 and h6. These are heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. As the number increases, the importance of the text size decreases. Then let's say id which is demo. Right now I will keep the h1 as empty because we are going to manipulate our h1 using JavaScript in the later part of the video. So for writing JavaScript, we are going to add a script tag here. Add a script tag and hit enter. You will get this type text / JavaScript. Just close this file and open it again. So here you will get all the script and the h1 loaded properly. So here we have this HTML file and this body tag. Inside the body tag we wrote the script, and we have this h1 here, and we have the title, the meta tag which is char set utf8. So that's fine, I think. Now we are ready to go. So let's hit enter and let's add some spaces so the text will be more visible to you easily. And let's write var. Var is basically a short term, like it is used to declare a variable. Variable means a term or a placeholder which stores data of a particular object or something else, you can say. Let's make it var x. So declaring a variable here which has name x. So let me comment it out as now x as undefined. Comment is used for basically commenting out the code. So when you open this code a week or later, you can see all this. You can understand all this. So let's write x equals to 5. And again comment it out as assigning value to x. We assign the value to a variable by x is equals to, and the value which we want to assign that to a particular variable. So x is equals to 5 and semicolon at the end of each JavaScript code. So we have this x here is equals to 5. So let's declare another variable which is variable y, and also let's comment it out as now y is undefined. Till here y is undefined. When we write y is equals to something, the y will get defined, and y is equals to Professor Hub. let's keep it professor. Okay, let's keep it professor for now, and we'll write that inside a double inverted commas. So we assigned a value to y, which is a string. String is basically a letter, characters, or a word used to like assign a value to a particular variable. Here it is professor, and we always write that in a double inverted commas or single inverted commas. I will make sure I will comment all the code in this video so you might understand all of that, and I will provide the source code of this like whole video in a single link in the description box below. And let's write z is equals to hub. Also, if you know, we haven't declared the variable z, so we might get an error here. Here it is variable x which has value 5. We assign the value 5 to the x and we declared a variable y here. Tell here y is undefined, and we'll just assign the string value to the variable y, which is professor, in a double inverted comma, and let's write z is equals to assigning value to z, which is a string. Here we will use a single inverted comma. Also we need to define this z, or we will get error as the variable z is not found or variable z is undefined. So z is undefined for right now, and after this line our z is defined, that is z is equals to hub, assigning value to z, which is a string. So this is how we declare variables, and we assign numbers and string values to different variables. So hit enter. So this is like really easy. Let's take it to the next level. So let's use some different variable properties here. Variable x and a semicolon. So this is all we wrote for the variable x, y and z. Y has professor value, z has hub value. So let's just make it a. Let's change it now. Let's not keep it x, y, z. Let's go into different letters. Now make it variable v and variable c. Also you can write all this, like declare all this variable in a single line using a single comma between all these variables. Variable a, comma variable b, comma variable c, and semicolon at the end. So we will declare all the variables in a single line. Currently a, b, c are undefined here. So hit enter and let's do this. Let's add, okay, wait a minute. Let's add a is equals to, okay, let's define all these variables first. It is currently undefined, as we only declared all this variable a, comma b, comma c and semicolon at the end. Just remember the every variable, every line of code in JavaScript will have a semicolon at the end. And also let me write that out as this as a comment, and double slash is used to write a comment in JavaScript. Also if you press control plus slash, all the single line will be like the full line will be converted into a comment in JavaScript by pressing control and slash. This is a command used to make the code more understandable without actually displaying, okay, no typos here, without actually displaying, what the fuck man, why I'm doing this, without actually displaying it on the screen. Alright, so let's shift to the left here and we assign the value y is undefined. We assign the value to z now, which is hub. So let's add value to our a variable. A is equals to, always you use a to assign a value to a particular variable. A is equals to 7, semicolon at the end. Right, b is equals to 5, semicolon at the end. So just hit enter and Let's do this addition of all these two, like a plus b. To add them, just write c is equals to a plus b plus as an arithmetic operator. It will add the 7 plus 5 and it will just add the 7 plus 5 and it will assign the 7 plus 5 value to the c variable. So the value of the c variable will get us 7 plus 5, which will get us 12. Adding, so let's comment it out as adding both the numbers using the plus operator, symbol or operator. Both are the same things. Add a slash, you can write your operator. Just make sure you pause the video and go through all of that line wise after each 5 minutes. Operator, the result will be 12. Let's remove this double will be 12. Okay, and let's hit enter. So we got this a, b, c here. We added all this 7 plus 5 into the c variable. Just copy and paste it here. Also you can do all this in a single line, as I told you below. As I told you before, that we can declare all the variables in the single line. Also we can perform all the coding in a single line with a semicolon after each line on a same line. As you see here, a is equal to 7 semicolon, b equal to 5 semicolon, c is equals to a plus b semicolon, and we'll just comment it out as same results as above. So the result of the c will be as same as c is equals to a plus b semicolon. Hit enter and let's declare another variable here, which is variable p is equals to, you can make it 5 plus 10. Okay, variable p is equals to 5 plus 10. Addition of two numbers, we're adding two numbers here and declaring the variable on the same line. So we're taking it to the next level slowly, and let's declare another variable, which is variable q is equals to p plus, add a plus sign here, p plus, add space, p plus 3. So what the code is going to do is we'll get the result of p as 15 as we're adding the 5 plus 10. So the value of p at the end of this 27th line will be 15, and we're at the next line we're declaring a variable q, which is p plus 3. So we are adding p plus 3, and right now value after the 27th line is 10 plus 5, which is 15, and 15 plus 3 results to q is equals to 18. So here we get it as 15 plus 3, and then the variable q is gonna add all this 15 plus 3, and the result we are gonna get is equals to 18. So it is as simple as it is. So on this 28th line we're adding a variable, adding a value of a variable and a number together in a single line. So let's hit enter and declare another variable, which is variable d is equals to 20. Add a semicolon and let's comment it out as variable d is equals to 25. Okay, wait a minute, variable d is equals to 25, this will be not executed. This will be executed, because as you can see variable d is equal to 25 on the 31st line as a comment, as we have this 2/ before that particular variable, and at the 30th line we have this will be executed after the variable d is equal to 20. So this will be not counted in a comment. So let's declare another variable, which is a variable last name, comma, and let's add another variable, which is variable last name. As you can see all the letters are same, but we just use the different forms of text, that is n is small here and n is capital on the another variable. So last name is equals to, you can make it professor, The only difference in both the variables is n is small and n is capital. So for the last name, which is n capital, we are gonna make it hub, which is the name of my channel. I'm doing a bit of promotion here. Is equals to and double inverted comma and make it hub and semicolon at the end. Okay, so we have this last name here as professor and last name which is n capital is equals to hub. So let's try combining both of the text in a single line and comment it out as JavaScript is case sensitive. As we know, n and capital N make a lot of difference in JavaScript. So let's declare another variable which is variable text1. Okay, let's remove this. Just go up and let's make it so it will be easier for you to understand. Let's declare your variable. Let's declare a variable as variable channel is equals to. So just copy out this last name which is L small, which is N small, and add a arithmetic operator which is plus, and add semicolon, no, inverted commas, and then add another plus arithmetic operator and add the last name which is n capital. So in between double inverted commas we are gonna add a space so we can see the space between professor and hub. So add a space here. So the result will be channel is equals to professor space hub. Okay, so let's comment it out for your and better understanding. So the output will be professor hub. All right. And let's hit enter. So let's use another operator which is an arithmetic operator. These are different types of operators. So let's declare a variable which is e is equals to 10 and variable f is equals to, let's make it 8. Hit enter and let's declare another variable which is g. Okay, variable g. So let's declare another variable which is variable g, and we have three variables here which is e, f and g. G doesn't have any value assigned to it, so we'll write g is equals to e plus f here, which is addition of both the variables, which is gonna result to 18 cause 10 plus 8 is 18. And just copy out this line and paste it for n number of times. We are going to use different arithmetic operators in each of the lines. So comment it out as addition and change it to minus and just make this subtraction or subtraction, whatever you like to say. Make this subtraction. Okay, I'm gonna make it subtraction here. Add a comment here which is multiplication. Add another semicolon, add another comment here which is division, and the last comment will be, let's make it modulus. Modulus is basically the remainder of a particular division. That is, if we divide 9 by 3 we'll get the remainder as 0, and if we divide 10 by 3 we'll get the remainder as 1. So let's just change it to minus, asterisk for multiplication, slash for division, and percentage for finding the modulus of a particular division. That's fine. Now division is basically we'll get the quotient of a particular division. Hit enter and let's add variable h is equals to, let's make it 5. Okay, and let's write it out at h plus plus, which is an increment operator. What it means is, and this line we are going to increment the h by 1, so we are going to make it 6, and this particular 52nd line, on the 51st line the variable h is equals to 50, and on the second line the variable will get turned to 51. Okay, variable h is equals to 5, my bad, and variable o, or it is basically variable o, not 0. Variables can't be numbers. Variable o is equals to h. Okay, so the result of the variable o will be value of h plus 1, which is h plus plus. So the value of h will be 6, as we are going to add 5 plus 1 to the h variable on the 52nd line cause of h plus plus. So variable ol is equals to h, which will have value as 6. So just copy out this and make it minus minus. So what h minus minus is going to do is, it will decrease the value of a variable to minus 1. So it is going to subtract the value 5 minus 1, which is going to give the result as 4. Okay, hit enter, and also change that 56th line comment. It will decrement by 1. Variable x is equals to 5. Add a semicolon at the end. Variable z is equals to x into 2. What it means is the exponential power, that is 5 raised to 2, and we're going to find the square of this 5 number, which is 25. The result will be 25, not square root, that is square, whatever you can say. Square root is basically finding the 25th square root will be 5th, and the square of a particular number 5 will be 25. So it's like the opposite of each of the number. So it's like opposite of each of the properties, and it's going to be square, and variable z is equals to, also the another method for doing this, like exponential function, mat.par, which is a JavaScript function, which is mat.power x comma y. X will be 5 and y will be 2, which is the x and y variable. So we have this mat.power x comma y. So we have this, like x is already defined, so we're going to define this y variable and going to assign a value, that is y is equals to 2. So the value of z will be 25, as same as we got on the 61st line. So z is equals to 25. Now you can go down. Okay, so declare another variable, which is variable x is equal to 10, and declare x is equals to x plus minus, no, x, and write x plus equals to 5. So what it's gonna do is, it will just add value 5 to the variable x. So when you gonna display the value of x on the 67th line, it will just add the value of x, that is 10 plus 5. So the value of x will be 15 from the 69th line. And if you write two variables on the 60th and 61st line, that is variable x is equals to 5, variable x is equal to 10, the JavaScript is going to take the most, like the last line of the code, that is variable y x is equals to 10. So x plus equal to 5 is going to give the value as x is equals to 15. So 10 plus 5 is equals to 15. Now x will be 15 here. You don't need like semicolons in the comment. And x is equals to, okay, let's use this minus first. X is minus is equals to 5. So what this gonna do is, it will just subtract the minus 5 value from the previous x value. So add subtracts value from a variable. Now x will be 5. So let me write this out. Subtracts value from variable. Now x will be 5 here. Okay, so when you print like when you document dot write x value, we're gonna get the value as 5 here. So let's do this multiplication here. X asterisk is equals to 5. In JavaScript, for multiplication we use asterisk multiplies a variable with 5. Okay, and okay, cancel this out, and x is equals to, okay, let's write this slash first. X slash is equals to, what the hell man, what am I doing? X slash is equals to 5 divides the variable with 5. So the result we are gonna get as 10 by 5, which will be 2. So let's move on to the next line here. Okay, let's indent them properly. Also use this, like this is the best practice of indentation while writing a JavaScript code. And x modulus is equals to, modulus will be always percentage sign here, x modulus is equal to 5 semicolon in the end. Add a comment here which is assigns a remainder to a variable. Alright, so let's hit enter and let's go to another topic which is functions, which is JavaScript functions. Hit enter. So for declaring function you have to use this pre-stored JavaScript keyword which is function name. So this is how you define a function. You write this function keyword here and then you write the name of the function. Then you pass the parameters to a function which is parameter 1, parameter 2, parameter 3, parameter n. It can have n number of like parameters in a function. Parameter 3, parameter n. Make this n, and after all the parameters and the bracket end, add a curly braces. This is where all of your code will be executed. You have to write all your codes of the function between this curly braces here. So whenever you call this function with its name, this code will be executed and the part of your program. Code to be executed when we call the function by its name. That's fine now. Okay, so let me give a better example of this function here. Hit enter. Variable x is equals to, let's make it variable x is equals to my function, which is basically a string value here. Variable x is equal to my function. So let's declare a variable here. So let's declare a function by the keyword function here, and the name of the function will be my function. So variable x is equal to my function. We are calling that variable x is equal to my function. So the name of the function will be my function with parameters a comma b. I'm just going to explain variable x equal to my function in the later part. So let's return the value as a into b. So whenever you call the function by its name, that is my function, in your code it will return the value, that is it will multiply the a into b. Whatever two parameters you pass to it, it will gonna return that a comma b. So here we are gonna pass the parameter as variable x is equals to my function 4 comma 3. So what it's gonna do is simply gonna multiply the 4 into 3 and it will return the value to the program. So you can make this. Function will return 4 into 3, that is 12. So whenever you call this function by its name, my function, you will get this value returned as 12. So let's hit enter and it's filed till now. And yeah, we wrote this h1 here. I told you like I'll use it in the later part of the video. So right now we don't have any text to display on our web page using the h1. So let's do some h1 manipulation using JavaScript here. Hit enter and let's declare another variable, which is variable x is equals to let's make it, okay, let me think of it. Let's make it my function here. What the hell? Let's make it f capital my function. Fine. And pass the parameters as 300. So let's declare another function here, which is variable to Celsius. So what is going to do, what this function going to do is it will convert this Fahrenheit to the Celsius. So add the bracket here. And okay, we have parameters here. So we are going to pass the parameters here. So let's make it Fahrenheit and add curly braces here. Also change the function name here to Celsius, so we are not gonna like confuse in my function and to Celsius. So let's return the value as. So this is basically the formula for converting the Fahrenheit to a Celsius value. Written 5/9 into, add a bracket here, which is this Fahrenheit value. Copy this, like it is gonna like multiply the 5 into 9, 5/9 into 300 minus 32. So it will convert the Fahrenheit value to a Celsius value. So this is what a use function for, like if you want to convert the Fahrenheit to degree or Fahrenheit to Celsius for 100 times in a code, we will just use this like for the function name here to Celsius, and we'll just pass the parameter and we'll get the value returned as 5/9 into Fahrenheit minus 32. And we're just accessing the element h1, which is id demo. As I told you, id is like a specific name to a particular tag. Document dot get element by id, we're getting the element by id and the name of the id is demo, and we're adding a dot operator here, and we're gonna access the inner html, which is inner html. html will be always capital and is equal to Celsius, comma. So whatever the 2 Celsius function is gonna return the value, it will be displayed in the h1 dot inner html is equal to 2 Celsius. Also, if you want more kind of videos on document object model to like access the particular h1, h3, h5 specifically, you can just comment out in the comment section below. I will be more than happy to make a video on that particular topic. So hit enter and we have this written 5/9 into Fahrenheit minus 32 here. Well, let's just do this one thing. Just copy out this code will be not counted in this function because it is written outside of this curly braces, so it will be never counted in a function that is 2 Celsius. So we can do on the about part 2 of a function that is written 5/9 or whatever. This code is also not going to execute in a function because it is not inside a particular curly brace of a function which is 2 Celsius. So let's just comment it out for now. We don't need it. It was for your better understanding. Okay, so hit enter and let's add another comment here, which is JavaScript objects. So we are gonna declare objects and initialize the objects in JavaScript. So let's make this like declare a variable first. Objects are basically instance of a class or something else. You can use that for like declaring any number of person having different name like David, Johnson, whatever you like as an object of a class or the objects in the JavaScript. The variable person is equals to add curly braces, hit enter. So the first name will be the property here, first name a colon, and the name value of the property will be professor, add the semicolon at the end, not semicolon, we will always have a comma at the end in a particular object or an array in JavaScript inside the curly braces. And let's write last name here, or let's just make our n capital and write colon here. Also make sure that you use colon in like objects and arrays while assigning a value to that particular property, and make the sub and comma at the end. Use another property which is age. Age will be 18 semicolon, not semicolon, you can change that to like comma, and make this eye color and colon here and make it black. Also you are gonna need to write all this like the string and double inverted commas or single inverted commas, as I told you earlier in this video. So you're done with declaring this object and assigning some properties and values to that particular properties, which is professor hub, age, eye color black. So let's declare another variable, which is variable channel is equals to. So for accessing the particular first name or last name, we're going to write the name of the object, which is person dot last name. So we are accessing the last name by person dot last name with a dot operator between the object name and the property of that particular object. So person dot last name and semicolon at the end. So as we are out of the curly braces, and let's just comment it out, accessing the properties of the objects. Okay, so it's fine, I think. And add comma after the black color, you can add a comma there. And so let's just see what are methods in an array. Declare a full name property here, full name, and should be always capital. We are using camel spacing in JavaScript as well. Add a colon and write function here. Function inside an object or an array is a method basically. So let's just comment it out as this is a method. Okay, this is a method, and inside this curly braces of this function here, which is of property full name, we are gonna add this first name and last name. So when we like access the full name, we are gonna get the result as professor underscore hub. Professor space hub not underscore hub. Return this dot first name, add a arithmetic operator which is plus, and double inverted commas for space, add again arithmetic operator, and this dot last name. So like this is used for just accessing this properties in a particular array or something. You can always use that in a constructor too. This dot first name plus inverted commas, a space in the inverted commas, plus this dot last name. So let's just comment it out as a method as a function stored as a property. So what this method is going to do is it will just add the first name and last name, and it is going to display as the full name of the channel. Okay, I just deleted this curly braces here. So make sure you write this curly braces, so the JavaScript is going to understand that is your code between this like two curly braces of the starting and the ending point of the curly braces. So we have this variable channel is equal to person dot last name, and variable channel is equals to full name. Channel full name is equals to person dot, so we are going to access simply this full name here. Accessing the properties of the object has been no variable channel is equal to person dot last name. Also you can access this like full name of this object by just doing that variable channel is equal to person dot full name or something else. It's just the same thing. So var cars is equal to, which is an array, we declare an array with like square brackets, and we write all this like values of array in a double inverted commas and separated by a comma, which is Audi, Volvo, and just take it to next level, which is BMW. Also you can use single inverted commas and an array while declaring objects, while declaring content of the particular array. So let's use this if else statement here. If condition is basically true or false. When it is true, what statements we are going to execute. If it is false, what statement we are going to execute for that particular condition. And inside the curly braces, the code we are going to execute for the if statement here. So if is like incomplete without the else statement here. So you can just let's use a better example of the if statement. If time is smaller than 10, so let's declare the var time is equals to var time is equals to 11, and if time is smaller than 10, So we have this time is equal to smaller than 10, add a curly braces here. Inside the curly braces you can write greeting is equals to, if time is equal to less than 10, we're gonna greet the user, which is good morning. Also you can declare this greeting variable without any assigning the value beside the time variable. So if time is smaller than 10, greeting is equal to good morning, has been no time is 11, so this statement is completely false. So let's not going to execute because time is not smaller than 10, so we are going to use this else statement here. Else greeting is equals to good evening. Okay, let's make it good day. As you know, there are different parts of a day. There are evening, afternoon, etc, etc. So this is not kind of more specific here, so we need one more condition here. So for that we use else if. So we are going to write the condition inside a bracket here. If time is smaller than 20, at curly braces we are going to greet the user as greeting is equals to good day, because we are like the afternoon part of the day. Good day. Okay, let's make it good day, not a good day biscuit. What the fuck, I'm cracking lame jokes in my video. I need to stop all this. Else is equal to greeting is equal to good evening, and you can write document.write greeting here at semicolon at the end. So we have all this variable time is equals to 11 and if else statement. So if statement is wrong, we are going to execute the else if else is wrong. If else if is wrong, we are going to execute the else statement, which is good evening. So let's just use another like switch statement here. Switch case expression. Okay, so you can write switch and hit enter, so you'll get all this coding part here. After switch we get this expression, which is like we had this and the if else if statements. So we have this case expression here. It will just return the value that is 0, 1 or particular number, string, whatever you are gonna get from the JavaScript function. So let's just copy all this case and paste it for n number of times. Cancel this out. Make this case 1, case 2. Okay, it's fine, I think. Yeah. So variable x and semicolon at the end. As you know, semicolon at the end is always important instead of an array in particular object. So just make the switch statement here. Let me give a better example of the switch case, which is switch new date. We are going to use a predefined JavaScript function, date bracket get day, and date bracket dot get day and another bracket which is inside a switch bracket. So we're just gonna copy this case expression here. Okay, let's just not copy this, let's just write it on your own so we'll understand it more deeper. So we have this case 0 here. So if the function returns a value as 0, that our day will be Sunday. So what this function does is date.getDay, it will just return a value of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 6, because an array starts from 0 and a function will always start from a number from 0. So we will get the 0 as Sunday. It's basically a pre-made function that is given by us to JavaScript. Case 0 day is equals to Sunday. Copy out this and paste it for like 6 more times for each day. So make this case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, okay, and the final one will be case 6, which will be Saturday. So let's just remove all this. Just make this case 2 as Monday and Tuesday, okay, Wednesday. Make this case 5 as Thursday, What the fuck, I'm just only left with one case. Okay, I just wrote this Monday in case 2. I need to write that in case 1, so let's just change that to Monday to case 1, cause case 0 is Sunday, and after Sunday Monday comes. After Sunday we get Monday, so Monday and then Tuesday, then Wednesday, we can write a Wednesday, then Thursday, let's write your Friday, okay, and the last one will be Saturday. So when the case number changes, we're just gonna change the value of a particular variable, which here is a day variable. So day is equal to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever you get the value on that particular day or date, not date, it's basically day. Also, you can write the default value here if you don't get any result from the JavaScript function. That's not gonna happen, but let's be on the safer side. Let's write this default value. You can write this as days equals to function not responding. Write that out as like that, function not responding. Okay, this default case here, hit enter, and let's use this document dot write, which just simply displays the text on the HTML document which is on the web browser. Document dot write and day. So if case is 0, we are going to display Sunday. If case is 5, we are going to display Friday. If case is default, like we don't get any response from the user, which is not going to happen any day, we are going to write as function not responding. So let's just switch to for loop. For loop is basically a kind of loop which is a starting point and ending point, and will increment that for loop by 1. So let's declare a variable I is equals to 2 and variable cast is equals to od comma, which is basically an array here. Variable cast is equal to od comma BMW comma Volvo and semicolon at the end. So let's declare another variable which is variable len. So let's find out the length of the array of the cars by just using cars.length. So cars 0 is not a function. I think it will just obtain the value of the particular car array here. So 0, 1, 2 index position, always index position of an array always starts from 0 and it's incremented by 1. So 0, 1, 2, Volvo will be at 2 and BMW will be at 1. So let's declare another variable which is variable text and double inverted commas for. So we are going to use the for loop here. So we are going to start from for I is equals to 0, which is od, and semicolon I should be smaller than length, which is I should be smaller than 2, which we obtained by the length variable using the cars.length. So we got this I smaller than 2, which is Volvo, length is equals to 2, which is Volvo, and I plus plus, which is gonna increment that from 0 and then 1 and 2. So for I is smaller than 0, and we're just gonna add the text to it. And so use this operator in the previous part of this video. Text plus is equals to cars I. So I will be the variable here. Okay. So text will be, so whenever we are going to increment the particular text, it will just display Audi on a particular line, and then it is going to display BMW on the second line and Volvo on the third line. For that we have added a line break here, which is an HTML tag. If you don't know HTML, as I told you earlier, you can watch my videos. I have 24 videos on HTML, and it's like from scratch you can understand HTML. Also it has some CSS for styling. So the output will be Audi, BMW, and on the other line it will be Volvo. Alright, so this was about switch case here. So let's use this while loop here. While I is smaller than 10, okay, let's do this smaller than 10 here. Add curly braces. Text plus is equals to, we are going to add a value to the text. the number is plus operator here and the I value, which is gonna start from 0 or something else. The output will be the number is 2, the number is 3, the number is 4. So let's GS constructors here. Let's move to another topic. GS constructor is basically it is used for initializing the objects in a particular program. So let's write that out as a function here. Function person first comma last comma age and I. Hit enter and add curly braces. Just comment it out as JavaScript constructors used to initialize objects. I will just put the link of the source code in the description box. So we're just going to give that this for this dot first name is equals to first. So we have this variable here which is first name, which we declared in the above part of this, like this code, and the first is the parameter. So whatever value we're going to get from the first, we're going to replace it, we're going to assign it to the first name, and whatever value we are going to get from the last, we're going to assign it to the last name, which is N capital. This dot age is equals to, and also if you don't know how to assign the variable, you can go to the starting part of the video. If you skip this video at the starting, this dot I color is equals to I. So whenever you call this function and pass parameters as color of the I is equals to black. So this dot I color will get the value as black, blue, brown, whatever you pass the parameter to a particular constructor. So this is what I did in all this video, which is declared as variables, concatenated as toString, added the numbers here, use arithmetic operators, addition, subtraction, and then we use the exponential function here. You can see all this in the documentation of JavaScript that is available on various sites. You saw what is function, how to return a value of a function. The function never executes the code which is out of the curly braces. We just saw document code, get element ID, how to do DOM manipulation. Also I told you if you want this like DOM manipulation and more detail, you can comment down in the comment section below. Got this varchars array here, this if else if statement, view document dot write for displaying the text on our HTML document, this switch statement here which cases 0, 1, 2, 3 with a function which is date dot get day, which is a predefined JavaScript function, and we just printed a document dot write of the day variable, which is going to change according to the value which is passed by the predefined JavaScript function of the day function. And we use the assignment operators. At the last we saw what is constructors. So this much is enough for this video. I will see you in the next video with more interesting content. Till then, bye bye, take care.